fees that are not ordinarily charged on other airports.
And these are common.
Industry, yeah.
Right, industry
Industry's
standards,
used to
yeah.
it, and
Correct.
expectations.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we could delete the section on the essential area service fees, or we could approve them now and then, if it seemed appropriate, modify them again later. And I'd be inclined to kind of set things in place now, and then come back to them if we choose to, rather than leaving
And I would probably come back in,
let's see.
if we choose to do something, we would have to have a decision in September.
When you say if we choose to do something, you mean to go out to bid, or we have to go out to bid?
We have to go out to bid, but if we would choose to change the rates, modify the rates at all, we would have to have that approved in September for, prior to going out to bid in October.
So everybody would be on the same playing field.
Exactly.
Right.
We have to bid everything equally.
So I would, you looking for a motion?
Yes.
I would move to accept this.
Now, on what resolution? Agenda
You have a
item
resolution in there, don't you?
I did have a resolution in there.
Is it E, because isn't the other one?
E1?
No, E,
That's what it's titled.
I thought those were old
well, they're both
Well,
resolutions.
this one says 2020.
No, those are new ones.
Do you have new ones?
Oh, do I, what did
I see one
Yeah, it's
titled Ratification of Airport Rates and Charges 2020.
Yes.
Right,
Okay,
the
I'm
date
sorry.
on the top is,
Yeah.
not.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Oh, okay,
But
I'm
But
sorry.
the body of it is pretty well.
Right,
What
yeah,
she,
fine.
what she's trying.
But we have one regarding,
We can make the corrections on that for the full board meeting.
So are we
One-
approving the rates or the resolution?
right, you want rates and charges, not the parking fees. That's what you're talking about.
Correct, that's what we're just talking about right now, right?
Correct. I would second that, Mr. Chairman. For the airport rates and charges 2020, as presented.
Yeah, and you'll see
Any
it.
more discussion?
Cleaned up version for the.
Yes.
for the-
I'll fix
Yep.
that. I did.
Let's call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
So Stephanie, this leaves the, in a sense, the responsibility on you if you want a change in the rates before we go out to bid.
Mhm.
Would you bring it to us?
Yes, absolutely.
Because we won't necessarily remember to bring it up.
Probably not.
And is there further discussion that we need to do? We have a second resolution here from the airport
Parking,
on parking.
yes. We've done some research with MAPCO. The parking rates have not changed since they were initiated in 2016. We've gone back and forth because we don't want to gouge our customers, but things do go up. And we've gone over a number of different scenarios, and we feel that a $1 a day increase is not too much for the parking. This would be an increase of $1 for the first hour, or I'm sorry, for the first 30 minutes, and then afterwards, it incrementally goes up to $9 a day from $8. I'm having a hard time finding how I put this. But you can see the analysis there to increase the parking. Because once again, now we are at 4 years, going on 5, with the parking lot that's been in use for 5 years. There is maintenance costs associated with that.
Do you have any response to this proposal?
But there's the revised fee, and then there's another grace, what's the grace period?
Right now, there's a grace period of 30 minutes. The other
Oh,
one
30,
is
okay, so
to,
that's a separate, okay,
That would be reducing the grace period. We don't recommend that right now, reducing the grace period at all. And we don't recommend changing anything with the valet parking.
Which is doing fairly well, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, you're right regarding soon. I don't know, Steve, maybe you could tell us more on what we might have to do out there in the parking lot, repairs that may be needed in the next couple of years. I don't know if we need to repave anything, but we might have to do something else in that parking lot.
Might be restriping and
Yeah,
sealing.
yeah.
Well, it's restriped every year.
How much does that cost?
MAPCO goes through that. It goes through,
Every year?
yep, MAPCO's contract. The big concern I see with the parking lot is not the lot itself, but the roadway in front of the terminal.
Mm.
There is a drainage issue, and
Yes,
you get a very large dip in the wintertime,
yeah.
That's
and it's breaking it
when
up.
they, what part of that is when they put in, that dip is a result of the line that we put in to, when we terminated outside the terminal, and that's for the sanitary line. And when they backfilled it, they used dissimilar materials. There's a lot of clay around there, they backfilled with crushed stone. So what happens is, the reason it becomes a dip is because it doesn't heave like clay does. Clay will swell and retain water, and then when that frost hits it,
Right.
if it's all clay, you just see, you might see a little bit in the asphalt cracking a little bit, but it all goes at once. We had the same issue at the border station, and we ended up, it happened over the winter, and the contractor came back and cut that out and replaced it with so much of native material in there, and that got rid of the heaving of it. What you can do is you could go in and mill it and then pave over it, but what'll happen is when that all settles back, it'll go the other way. So it's something we gotta look at. It's, I mean, yeah, we could go and you could patch that and get rid of that, but it may show up in a different way with that. So I do know the genesis of why it happened. When they put that in, they just backfilled with all crushed stone, which it works nicely, and then when you've got the thing ready to pave, it all looks great. But what'll happen is that it'll just go in different directions with the frost. But we could look at that and see what we could come up with in a, somebody come in and patch that maybe, and even getting a good contractor in there, they might give you an idea what to do. So it would be something we could look at.
But it is starting to break up that pavement on the
Mhm.
roadway.
Oh, it is right there.
It's starting to crack it all.
Should we take action on this resolution, on this proposal?
I think we can remove the discussion on the revised fee for the grace period. I think we can leave that out of it. But considering, we've talked before about setting aside money for normal wear and tear on buildings and other parts of what the authority owns, and I think this is just another case that if we don't do this and consider fixing anything that needs fixing, and maybe setting aside some of this, and that should be considered too, even though, it's quite an expense at the airport.
Where does MAPCO's cost fit in this? Will they be eating up some of that dollar? You know what I'm saying? Like, I kinda know where you're coming from.
Okay, that's the other question.
If you wanted to just say, okay, let's take 75 cents of this dollar and put it somewhere for parking lot maintenance.
Does
Is-
MAPCO's?
Is MAPCO gonna be, is it not gonna be 75, is it gonna be only a quarter, or is it gonna be?
They're not increasing their fees, or their cost to us.
Okay.
But if we raise this fee, do they
You get a percentage.
automatically get the same percentage they're getting now?
Yeah,
Governed by the contract.
Yeah, it would be governed by the contract.
so we wouldn't be getting the whole dollar.
I guess would be yes.
Do you know what the percentage is that they
High.
I was just,
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
I saw the January number,
We need to discuss it.
it's not good.
No,
Let's see if I have it, on the drive, let me check.
Go ahead.
Might as well have the discussion.
Go ahead, let her out.
There's gotta be a better way. So we would need to see that this is probably the right, this looks good.
Yeah.
But
It's
Is
up
there-
on the screen, I don't know.
is there a way we can charge a fee without,
Someone would have to review it, probably for your meeting if you move forward.
is that, what are you bringing up?
That's the contract with NAPCO?
Do you want me to bring it up on your own computer so you can read through it, or?
No?
No?
Automobile rental?
Is there a summary in the back, maybe, of the back, last two sheets or?
So that would be the question, right?
That would be the question.
So for instance, because I don't even really know, but I would say, what if we instituted $1 ticket fee? Every time you go in, it's $1 to get in or out. I'm not saying that's correct, it just becomes a different fee, is that
There you
different
go.
fees included? Follow what I'm saying?
yeah, I follow what you're saying.
I'm not certain you wanna do that, but how many pages is that?
Rates and fees and
Okay,
charges.
oh, 19.
Yeah, I think you have to have someone review it before the next meeting.
Oh, is this the one that you just sent me?
Yeah.
Okay, this is just the rental car fee,
Oh.
the rental car contract. The map goes about that thick.
Okay.
So we may need, Mr. Cabello.
Oh, you're right,
to,
yeah.
Look
Okay.
at this. He needs to review it.
I think we do need to look at it though.
You're correct.
Yeah,
We just gotta make sure that,
That it's the right thing to do.
because this percentage increase you have in there would not necessarily be outward.
Right,
Correct.
We
We
may,
would,
we may only get half
it's
that.
the total revenue of the parking.
Yeah.
The other issue could be, and this goes to my economics, is
Mhm.
you raise the price, you may have lower people parking, so
Yeah.
your overall, I
Revenue
think
may
Chris
stay
and I are on the
the
same page, but
Yeah,
simple economics is that you may be at the same number in the end, and then, but there's no way to tell that. I mean,
That's
you can
right.
never pretty well guess, but whenever you raise the rate, you do have an effect on whether people park or not. Some
Mhm.
people may say $9 is crazy,
Mhm.
and others may say, I'm still gonna do what I do. But if we lose that, if we got the whole dollar, I would say that would be a good thing, but I think, to raise it and then overall,
yeah, we have to look at
yeah,
it.
look at that.
So would you bring us more information before we
Certainly.
take action?
Certainly will.
Send it to the attorney. Let him review the contract with NAPCO.
Okay.
So are we tabling that for now?
Yes, I'll move the table.
I'm not sure that we ever have a resolution, we don't have a motion on the table
No.
yet.
No,
No. So.
No, we didn't.
Nobody did make a
No,
motion.
no,
We
Okay,
can just bring this back for discussion.
It doesn't need to be tabled.
Is there anything else we should cover in the finance committee meeting?
Steve, eh?
Nope.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Aye. Aye.